Shalom Havarim, James Trim here, and today I want to talk to you about a passage that appears in the Tanakh as a messianic prophecy, and it's not directly used in the so-called New Testament as a messianic prophecy, but if we read between the lines, it's there implicitly. And it is a passage that the Midrash Rabbah identifies as a messianic prophecy. So this will also shed some light. This study will shed some light on an event that takes place in the Synoptic Gospels, as well as a prophecy that's found in the book of Zechariah. So before we get started, I want to ask everybody to please consider donating to support this work. These videos are unique. The kind of material that we cover is unique, oftentimes revolutionary and original, as well as unique. And I don't think that you can get this kind of material anywhere else on at least as regular a basis. Unfortunately, we just learned 5 days ago that we have lost a major source of income. And so now more than ever, we need you to step up and donate to support this work. This video and others like it and the blogs we produce are brought to you by you. So you are the sponsor of this material, of this program and this material. So you can donate by clicking on the donate link in the video description, or by sending donations to donations@wnae.org, by PayPal to donations@wnae.org. Also, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to these videos so you'll get notifications when more videos come out, and to help us build our subscriber base. We are close to 3,000. We were at 2.8, and now we just broke 2.9, and so we're almost to 3,000. So we'd like to get to 3,000 subscribers, so please subscribe. Also, let us know what you think of these videos in the comments, and share these videos on social media with your friends. All right, so the passage I want to look at, we're going to look at the occurrence of this story in Matthew. I don't like to use the word story because it implies that it didn't happen, because we use the word story sometimes to refer to, likely story, or let's get our stories straight. And in this case, that's not the situation. So maybe the word account is better. Versions of this account appear in all three synoptic gospels, but we're just going to look at Matthew chapter 9, verses 20 through 22 for our purposes here today. And I'll read it. It's very brief. It says, "And behold, a woman which had an issue of blood 12 years approached him and touched the tzitzit of his garment. For she said within herself, if I touch his garment only, I will be delivered. But Yeshua turned, and when he saw her, he said, have trust, my daughter, or have faith, my daughter, for your trust, or faith, emunah in Hebrew, has delivered you. And the woman was delivered the same hour." So I forgot to mention that this video, like so many others, has handouts, where you can follow along with some of the sources that we quote, and the PDF of those handouts. There's a link in the video description, so you can print that PDF out and follow along. By the way, the name of the woman in this account was Miriam. That's not revealed in any of the Synoptic Gospels. However, there's a lost gospel called the Gospel According to the Hebrews, which was used by the ancient Nazarenes, the original Jewish followers of Yeshua. We've done many videos on the Nazarenes. We've done videos on the Gospel According to the Hebrews. And so you can look back at those videos if you like for more information. The Nazarenes were the original Jewish followers of Yeshua, and they used a gospel called the Gospel According to the Hebrews, which was the source gospel for our four gospels, especially the three Synoptic Gospels. And it has not survived. However, we have about 50 fragments of it that have survived in either quotations from the so-called church fathers and written in margins of manuscripts and etc. And so from these we know these surviving fragments, we know that the woman's name was Miriam. If you turn to the second page in our handouts, the first page was that quote from Matthew. We have Malachi chapter 4, verses 1 through 2, or chapter 3, verses 19 through 20, depending on whether you're looking at a Jewish or Christian version. This is one of the few places where the chapter and verse divisions differ. It says, "For behold," this is Malachi, the prophet Malachi, "for behold, the day comes that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yes, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that comes shall burn them, says Yahweh Tzavaot, and it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name shall the sun, S-U-N, as in sunshine, the Son of Righteousness shall arise with healing in his wings, and you shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall." So this is this passage of Malachi. There's something very interesting here, and that is that when it says there's healing in his wings, it's a beautiful messianic prophecy. The word wings, or the word wing in singular in the in Hebrew, is kanaf. Okay, kanaf means wing, but it also means corner, which is very, very important. So this is a messianic prophecy. It's never quoted or cited in the so-called New Testament as a messianic prophecy. I don't know that it's even quoted in any of the so-called church fathers as a messianic prophecy. But it is recognized in the Midrash Rabbah on Exodus 31:10. It says, "Moses asked, 'Shall they remain in pledge forever?' God replied, 'No, only until the sun appears. That is, until the coming of the Messiah. For it says, but unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in its wings.'" So the Midrash Rabbah in the rabbinic literature definitely identifies this as a messianic prophecy. Now, what has this got to do with the passage in Matthew? Well, the answer is to be found in the Torah. in the Torah, we have the commandment of the tzitzit. The tzitzit are tied to the four corners of the garment. And we see this commandment in Numbers 15, verses 37 through 41, and in abbreviated form in Deuteronomy 22:12. I have both of those on your handout, on the next page of the handout. It's titled Tzitzit in the Torah. I have both of those here in the handout for you, but really the only one we need here is Numbers chapter 15, verses 37 through 41. It says, "And Yahweh spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make throughout their generations fringes, or tzitziot, in the corners of their garments." Corners. And the word for corner there in the Hebrew is kanaf. So it could also be translated wings of their garment. The corners of their garment, or the wings of their garment. In other words, the kanaf of their garment. Okay. And that they put with the fringe of each corner a thread of blue. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, or for tzitziot, that you may look upon it and remember all the commandments of Yahweh and do them, and that you go not about after your own heart and your own eyes, after which you used to go astray, that you may remember and do all the mitzvot, all the commandments, and be set apart unto your Elohim, or be holy unto your Elohim. I am Yahweh your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your Elohim. I am Yahweh your Elohim. Okay, so here we have the commandment to wear tzitzit on the four corners of our garments. Now, the ancient Hebrews wore a four-cornered garment, and today, modern Orthodox Jews and Torah-observant Jews, I would even say, wear a four-cornered garment. Some will wear it under as an undershirt, a four-cornered garment, and also we wear the talit katon. Well, that's the talit katon. Sorry. The little talit is called. The talit gadol is another way of fulfilling that commandment today by wearing a talit, a prayer shawl, if you will, with tzitzit also on the four corners of that prayer shawl, on the corners. Okay? So it's very important to understand that the word corner and the word wing are the same in Hebrew. So that the prophecy in Malachi that says that there's healing in his wings may also be understood as there's healing in his corners, i.e. referring to the place where the tzitzit are on the four corners. And it says to wear tzitzit on the four corners of your garment. And it doesn't say belt loops. There's no reference to belt loops in the Torah. It says to wear the tzitzit on the four corners of your garment. So this woman, Miriam, she knew the Messianic prophecy. She knew that Malachi and the reference to there's healing in his wings was a Messianic prophecy. And knowing this, and knowing that Yeshua was the Messiah, having emunah, faith that Yeshua was the Messiah, she reached out and grabbed his tzitzit on the kanaf, the wing of his garment, because she knew that there was healing in his wings, and that there was healing in the kanafot, the wings, the corners of his garment. So she grabbed hold of his tzitzit. So this is why the woman does this. She doesn't just do it out of the blue. She knew and understood the Messianic prophecy of Malachi that there would be healing in the Messiah's wings, and she grabs hold of his tzitzit to receive that healing. Okay, This also brings us to another prophecy in Zechariah chapter 8, verse 23. Thus says Yahweh Tzevaot, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold of out of all the languages of the nations, shall take hold of the skirt. It says in most translations, but the word there is actually kanaf. Shall take hold of the kanaf of him that is a Jew, saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that Elohim is with you. Now let's unpack this a little. Okay, first of all, this goes in with the whole concept of the kanaf. There's healing in his wings. But why then does it say that 10 men shall take hold out of all the languages of the Goyim, of all the languages of the nations or Gentiles? Well, the reference to 10 men here refers to the 10 lost tribes. So 10 men representing the 10 lost tribes, this is prophetic, will take hold out of all the languages of the nation, shall even take hold of the kanaf, of the kanaf is where the zitzit are, of him that is a Jew. Now, is this talking about Yeshua specifically? Because some will take this to refer to Yeshua only. But that doesn't work in the Hebrew. Let me explain why. It goes on to say, saying, so this is what they're saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that Elohim is with you. Now you notice this recurrence of you here. Now, in English, we have a deficiency in English. That deficiency is that we do not have a plural you, where we don't have a way of distinguishing plural you from singular you. Okay, so the second person plural and the second person singular, it's just you. Okay? Because of that deficiency, by the way, in English, it's interesting to note that different dialects of English, at least here in the United States, have evolved to fill the gap and create a plural you to resolve this deficiency. And these are not considered proper English now, but in the fullness of time, someday they may be, because they have arisen because they fulfill a very real need for a distinguishment between plural and singular you in English. So up in the Northeast, what you do with a plural in English, well, you put typically a plural noun in English, you put an S on the end, right? So they've done this with you, and so they'll say use guys, for example, and they'll put this S on the end. It's not proper English, okay? Their English teacher would correct them, and they get a red X on their page, on their English page, for bad grammar. But who's to say? Because it's actually the language evolving to fill a real need. Here in Texas, we have a contraction of you all, y'all, Y''AL. And that serves the place of a plural you. So we can say y'all. So if we were to read this in colloquial English, this last phrase might be, we will go with yous. We have heard that Elohim is with yous. Okay? Or even, we will go with yous guys, for we have heard that Elohim is with yous guys. Okay? The other, or the Texas version, we will go with y'all. We have heard that Elohim is with y'all. So, at any rate, the the you here being plural in Hebrew, because in Hebrew there is a distinguishment between plural and singular you. It is not a singular you in the Hebrew, it is a plural you. So when it says we will go with you, the you is plural. For we have heard that Elohim is with you, the you is plural. So it's not talking about Yeshua, who is singular. It's talking about the Jewish people. So this is a prophecy that in the last days, 10 men from all the generations, from all the languages of the nations, i.e. People from the 10 lost tribes, will take hold of the kanaf, of the tzitzit, of him that is a Jew, and i.e. the Jewish people, and will say, we've heard that Elohim is with you, we want to go with you. And this, of course, is being fulfilled in these very days as people who, many of whom come from a background where they are likely part of the 10 lost tribes. And we've done a video on the 10 lost tribes in the past, so you can go back and look at that and see what Jewish sources say about the 10 lost tribes. But these people are then taking hold of him, of the Jewish people, and saying, we've heard that Elohim is with you, and we will go with you. Now, it's very important, and I've done videos on this before, and in light of this prophecy before, that many in the Hebrew Roots movement and the Two House movement and whatnot have come with an opposite perspective from what biblical prophecy in this and other passages says takes place. And instead, they come with this perspective that that Ephraimites come along, or the Gentiles come along and say to Judah, hey, come with us, Elohim is with us. That's not what happens. It's the other way around. Okay. So hopefully you've learned some things about the messianic, the tzitzit, the place where the tzitzit are placed on the four corners of the garment are the kanafot, or the wings of the garment, and that they are there is a when the woman came to Yeshua and she grabbed hold of the kanaf of his garment, or the tzitzit of his garment, and she did so because she was healed, and she did this knowing she would be healed because she knew that there was a messianic prophecy in the book of Malachi that says that there would be healing in his wings. And the amazing thing about this, or the very interesting thing about this, is that this passage in Malachi is never quoted or cited in the so-called New Testament as a messianic prophecy, but it is cited in the rabbinic literature as a messianic prophecy in the Midrash Rabbah. And all of this also sheds light on the prophecy in Zechariah chapter 8 verse 23, where 10 men from the nations take hold of the kanaf of him that is a Jew and say that we will go with you because we've heard that Elohim is with you. So let us know what you think about this in the comments. What do you think about the messianic prophecy in the book of Malachi about about healing in his wings, and how this sheds light on the woman who takes hold of the kanaf of Yeshua's garment and receives healing, and as her motivation to do that, and is the fulfillment of a messianic prophecy that is essentially found in the Midrash Rabbah, in the rabbinic literature, and how all of this also sheds light, information sheds light on the take hold passage in Zechariah 8:23. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to donate by clicking on the link in the video description to donate. We need your support to make these videos possible. And Don't forget to subscribe so that you'll get noticed when when more videos come out, and share these videos with your friends on social media. So until next time, everybody, shalom, shalom.